Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Today, I want to talk about Brother Judge Joe Mathis. And something he said a few days ago that's he might have thought he was doing something, macho or, something that's going to motivate these young brothers into doing the right thing. But I believe he's just in like the wrong era, dealing with something that probably would have worked 20, 30, 40 years ago. Not going to work now, because these kids nowadays are bred a little different. A lot of the dudes that he was talking to may not have had much of a positive role model in their life. As we say, a lot of these youngsters was raised single mother, single grandmother household, grew about around a bunch of women, so they may be a little emotional. And when you get a guy that's really emotional, we really don't know how to react when it comes to using emotion. If we can use logic, we can make better choices. But if we're going off emotions, we're gonna do something real devastating, something real detrimental to myself and everybody else. But anyway, let's get into the article, and then I'll discuss some more on my thoughts. So this is from blackamericaweb.com, and it reads: Judge Mathis says black men lacked in BLM marches. Instead, quote, set back and killed each other. Now, that title there, that first statement is, first of all, BLM marches. We all know within the last couple of years, Black Lives Matter, the organization, has been involved in a lot of controversy with, Patrice Cullors and her husband, wife, whatever, and about properties that were bought that they found out was used with Black Lives Matter donation that they got. That there's like $90 million unaccounted for, or don't know where it goes, or don't know who's in control of it. Not that it's not accounted for. It's just that it's there and nobody knows who's in charge of it. What else? Like I say, using money for what do you call it? LGBTQ purposes, not necessarily for the Black Lives Matter. And I said it before in videos, when you're dealing with the alphabet group, you're not really, let me say it like this: if that's your life, if that's your religion, then you're not really pro-life, and you're not really caring about lives except just your own. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a bit of selfishness, because if you are about that, and has to deal with your, and that's part of your, and that's your sexuality, then you're not really pro-life or care about Black lives, any lives, because no life can be created living that lifestyle completely, 100%. If that's what you are. I mean, if that's what you're about, then no lives can be created that way. So you might want to preserve lives, but again, it's a selfish thing, because you're not really caring about anyone else. And then too, the website, when it first came out, when it talked about the family, it only showed like women and children. There was no pictures, there was no depiction, there was no mention of a man or males or men in the household. So it lets you know there was nothing for us to even get behind, real men, because real men want to have real families and create real generations and have a legacy, leave behind a legacy. So Black Lives Matter had nothing, was not a part of that, did not promote that. So to say that men were not part of Black Lives Matter marches, I mean, so what? Because That's like a lot of dudes not going to church because they feel the preacher is catering or preaching to the women, making them feel certain ways, empowered, don't need no man, wait on Jesus. Same thing. Things that do not promote family and does not promote life or preserve life. It's a selfish way of teaching and receiving the scriptures. Because like I said, there's no way these women are not married, and they're not, like married like Jesus' mom, and are not about to have no child by virgin birth. It's just not gonna happen. Majority of them are not even virgins anyway. But let's get into this story. And it reads, in addition to dealing with a deadly global pandemic, 2020 for Black people also included many of us fighting for our right to be treated equal following many unnecessary deaths at the hands of police departments across the state. Well, what about deaths at the hands of each other, right? So in comes Judge Mathis. Famed TV judge Greg Mathis, also real life former judge of Michigan's 36th District Court. And he has a pretty good story. I wish I would have got the book. Then I think about it. I thought I ordered that book. I don't think I ever got it. I thought I ordered that. Anyway, I read excerpts of his book and the story and how I know I got that book. Anyway, how he came up, had a troubled youth, childhood, in and out of juvenile, in and out of the court system, prisons, the police system, whatever, and was able to go to school, get his either his GED or diploma from high school, went to college, became a judge, and then almost didn't become a judge because of his record, and he worked hard to get his record expunged, and then was able to become a judge in the 36th District Court of Michigan. But like I said, I think it's a good story, and if I can't find a book, I'm gonna get that book. But anyway, it says he made a bold claim recently against many Black men in America who he feels were lacking on the front lines of Black Lives Matter protests, while instead killing each other at alarming rates. It reads, during his acceptance speech while being honored at the EMG Foundation in his hometown of Detroit last week, Mathis used his time on the mic to make a strong assertion, stating, quote, the majority of the Black Lives Matter marches were Black women and white kids, while our Black men sat back and killed each other. I guess he's talking about Detroit, because let me just speak personally, and those of you who are watching, maybe you can give your personal testimony, but I didn't go to a march. I didn't follow Black Lives Matter. It was interesting at first, but I don't like personally joining or being a part of big organizations when it comes to just anything like protest or like relief funds, like Red Cross, stuff like that, because you find out that the money that you give, the majority of it normally goes to like administrative costs. A lot of it doesn't get to the actual people. They had a big story about the Red Cross in Haiti, how that all these millions of dollars were raised and only like a few houses were built in Haiti. But when they say where the money went, it had to pay administrative costs and, people that volunteered and all that kind of stuff and all of, and red tape or whatever. And they were unable to, the money was unable to get to the people. So I'm the type of person I'm the type of person where if you want to help people, you help them directly. The easy way, the lazy way is to, give your money, to like Red Cross and let them use it as they may. But again, a lot of it doesn't get to, to the people. So it's like, but I guess you can say something is better than nothing. But if you're able to like directly affect people, let's just say you say, I want to give money so they can buy water or buy diapers for the kids. you know what, just find like a water company that's going down there and just say, hey, I want to donate this money to, you know, to your cause. So you can go down there, use it on gas or whatever, you know, so you can go directly down there and hand out water to the people down, you know, to wherever it's needed. And we just talking about Haiti, it can be anywhere in the country. You know, like these been floods lately, Kentucky. You can say, hey, I want, you know, call a diaper company or somebody, you know, that's going to go to that part of the country and help people out. Say, hey, here goes a box of diapers or a few cases of diapers. Can you take them down there? Or some pants, you know, some clothes that I got, you know, from Walmart, the thrift store, I don't know, Hermes, I don't know, but you go take it to, can you take it down there to them? That's how your money gets used more directly than having to go through so many channels before those pennies get down there. Let's say the majority of Black Lives Matter marches were black women and white kids. You got to be careful of that, because a lot of times people from other races, they join things. Sometimes they do it for school projects. Sometimes they do it for work, you know, for work research, or, you know, trying to get community service hours. You know, like I say, research projects and stuff like that, films. So, you know, you really can't. And then what was it? They were showing how some of these kids is out there trying to break, you know, glass in buildings, and the black people like, what are you doing? Ain't nobody telling you to tear stuff down and spray paint these walls. You know what I'm saying? You can get on somewhere with that. And then they're saying people bringing like pallets worth of bricks and laying them on the side of the street. Like, where that come from? You know, it ain't come from us. We ain't just got bricks just laying around. Well, I got like a small stack because, you know, it came with the house when the house was built. But most people don't have like just a pile of bricks, you know what I'm saying, just sitting in their backyard. So you got to be kind of leery of that, of saying, you know, trying to, you know what I'm saying, big up other races that quote unquote supposedly came to help us. Because, you know, I mean, and he should know this. He's old enough to know a lot of that stuff ain't what it, you know, ain't what it seems, you know. But he says black men sat back and kill each other. But again, like I said, I didn't get a part of no march. I wasn't, you know, saying promoting or felt comfortable, you know, saying being behind the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But I didn't kill nobody either. Ain't fought no brother, ain't shot at no brother, ain't been shot at. You know what I'm saying? Ain't, you know, didn't you, cause the way he said is like, instead of like, he said it like we had a choice, like we either march for Black Lives Matter or go kill each other. You either did one or the other. It's like there's no middle ground. It's like, nah, I ain't killed nobody and I ain't march for Black Lives Matter. Did other things locally, grassroots, that I feel more, you know, that I did, that ain't got nothing to do with them, but got just something to do with us as a people. He said, quote, he went on to elaborate, saying, adding, quote, falling into this trap that they have set for us by failing us in our education system, bringing in guns and sending out the jobs. And you chumps are going for it like a bunch of suckers. And you're supposed to be cool? You're supposed to be the man? Nah, you ain't no man. You are a punk until you stand up and fight for your women. Okay. Again, this is like old school tactics to try to get young men to quote unquote man up, or to be like, you know what, or say, you know, he right, I ain't no punk. Well, you think I'm a punk? I tell you, I show you, I'm gonna go ahead and fight for my women. But again, the Black Lives Matter movement was ran by LGBTQ women. So why would I fight for them if you're supposed to be, you know, Black Lives Matter? So you're supposed to promote lives, preserve lives, but yet your lifestyle does not promote that, or is not, you know, in concert with that belief. So it don't make sense. It just don't make sense. And then, you know, like right now, it's like seems like there's a big rift between men and women in our community. And women, like, a lot of women want to be fought for, and a lot of women want to be protected. But then a lot of men feel that their women are not doing what they need to do, to earn that protection. But really, in the scriptures, women are protected by their husbands or their fathers that's still at home, and their brothers that's still in the home. You're supposed to be in the home, protected, until you move out or until you get married. Then you're protected by your husband and his tribe. But we're trying to do it backwards. We want protection. So we got people hollering for protection, but they're not doing anything to, let's just say, earn or deserve that protection. I mean, it's just what it is. Now, I'm not saying that if you see a sister getting assaulted, or up against, grown men, that you don't step in and, and give protection, or come to bat for her. But what I'm saying is, everybody doesn't deserve it, because I've seen where women get in a relationship with a guy, no, he ain't no count, no, he ain't no good, but then he's abusive. Then they call their brother, their dad, or whoever to come and take care of this dude after they got into a fight. And the dad, beats the boy up. I seen, where the family member beats the guy up, but then the young lady goes back and bees with the man in a relationship and don't leave him. So now you got this dude over here looking stupid, like feeling stupid, or like a punk, because he did what he was trained, what he was taught and raised to do, but yet that person is still going back, that woman is still going back in that same relationship. I guess she thinks that if her brother handles this guy, then he'll back off and won't do it again. But all that's gonna happen then next time, he's gonna whoop her ass, and then the guy gets there, he's gonna shoot and kill him. That's really what's gonna happen, but a lot of women don't understand that. But anyway, yeah, you can fight for your women, but just you can't fight for all of them. I'm sorry. Just like women, you can't marry every dude. Like, every man ain't a king and every woman ain't a queen. I mean, let's just keep it a buck, and then you can take it from there. The passion in his delivery will make a stranger confuse him for a pastor, and his conviction definitely had a spiritual resonation, giving his plea for us to do better as a race and gender entirely. I don't see where the rest of that is. Mathis is entirely surprising in his strong delivery, especially those who watch his, he's talking about his show. Well, he got a couple of shows, the Judge Mathis show, and then he got a, Mathis Family Values or something like that. But like I said, they didn't put up what he said about us doing better. But that goes without saying. We do, as a community, have to do better. We gotta understand. And one thing I'll say about Brother Judge Joe Mathis is, you have to understand who you're dealing with, and like I said, in the times that you're in. Like I say, it used to be, you can let's say like football coaches. Coaches used to be able to cuss a boy out, throw him to the ground, grab him by his face mask, yell at him, make him run up and down the field, and nothing would be said. The dads would be at the practice and was like, yep, that's what he's supposed to do. Boy, you better, dad be ready to go out there and beat his own son because he embarrassing him in front of other men. But again, like I said, in front of other men at the practice and men at the games. And the dads understood where the coaches were coming from. Now, as time went on, who do you see at practices the most? In football practices and basketball practices. You see moms. Single moms. You see them at these, at these things with their boys. Taking their boys to this stuff. Open their boys, get them out the hood. But what that woman brings to that boy, what she gives him in emotion, in the way she acts, it will resonate in practice. So if he see his mom get emotional and get mad, want to cuss people out, want to fight, want to talk crazy, come up to the school acting fool because you said something about a boy, but then let her boy do whatever he want to in the house, and he's not really doing manly things. You got the girls and the women in the house doing all the work, but the boy sitting on the couch watching TV like he's some king, but he ain't earned king status. And then they get there on that football field, and the coach yells and fusses at him, and he wants to talk back to the coach. He wants to turn his back to the coach and walk off. You know, cuss the coach out of his cell, and then get kicked out the team. They want to fight the coach, and then here comes his mom running up here, cussing at the coach too. You know, that's where we at. That's where we at, Judge. Like I said, what you're doing is, I commend you for it. I mean, like I said, that's old school, but we ain't there. You can't call, like I said, these, and you say men, and I guess you can call them men just because try to make them feel like they're grown. But that ain't, like I said, we ain't in them times no more. I mean, the government might say that at 18 you're a man, but shoot, you know, like it's say scientifically, your brain don't really start to understand life and put things together till you're like 25. So if you're talking to people that's killing themselves, most of them teenagers, them aren't men. They're still boys. Yeah, I'm in my 40s. I have no problem calling a 20-year-old or somebody in their 20s a baby. So, man, you're still a baby. You know, I mean, I was too. Didn't want to hear it back then. And when you know what I'm saying, God willing, you make it to my age, you're going to be calling them guys that's 18, 20 years old, hell, even 30. You're going to still be calling them babies because they haven't lived longer than you and haven't figured it out yet. So you got to kind of be careful what you say and how you say it, like say in this day and age. So how would I address these youngsters? Shoot, I would prefer not to, because like I said, a lot of these youngsters are emotional and they'll like to try to snap back at you, and then you be ready to, like, you know, snatch a knot in their ass or snatch a knot in their neck and choke them out real quick and leave them there, because that's how they come to you. There's no respect with these youngsters. They feel that they should be respected before somebody twice their age should be respected. So it's just backwards, man. But I mean, but me, I wouldn't degrade them. I talk to them, you know, firmly, sternly, give them facts, you know what I'm saying, let them know the best way, show them the options, the best way, the worst way to do things, and what you know, what the percentages of the outcomes, positive and negative, who it would hurt. You know, you can sit there and be like this and call them punks and this and the third, but that's not going to motivate these youngsters. You got to let them know, like, hey, you doing this, man, this eventually could catch up to you one way. Like, you know, you could be killed, and you might think, well, you know, and a lot of these youngsters don't feel their life is worth anything, and they'll tell you. I mean, you know, even back in my day when I was young, you know, a lot of cats didn't believe, you know, thought that living past 18, 19 years old was a blessing. Living to see 21 was a blessing. That is nothing new, but now these kids, they thinking living past 15 is a blessing, 15, 16. So it's only getting worse. So you got to hit these kids young, and you got to hit them differently. And you got to let them know, look, your life is worth something, because if not, your mom wouldn't have had you. No matter, she may talk down on you and, you know what I'm saying, don't say anything positive to you, but you're here. Make the best of it. Enjoy life. Killing or being killed is not the thing to do. We're going to all eventually die. So let's just, while we're here, enjoy life and not try to bring pain to nobody else. Understand, if something happened to you, think of how it's going to affect your family and your friends and your mom for sure. Think about how it's going to affect your life if you kill somebody, and now the police is out there looking for you. You may think you're going to get away with it, but everybody don't get away with it. And technology is making it harder and harder for people to get away with crime. And a lot of these folks are fighting back now, not just laying down when you come around thinking you finna rob somebody. A lot of folks are shooting back. Something happened to you, and that person don't don't go to jail because of self-defense. Like I said, who you hurting? I mean, where's the benefit? If, shout out to brother Elder Neely Fuller, everything should be constructive. If it ain't constructive, it's destructive, and you need to focus on everything that we do being constructive. But anyway, let me get out of here, man. Tell me what you think about this story. Like I said, Judge Mathis, I see what he's trying to say. I know what he wants to say, and the point trying to make. But like I said, it's the wrong people, man. This is the wrong crowd. This crowd does not react to the same stuff that we had. They don't react the same. The first thing they want to do is get mad and want to kill you, and that's not going to help anybody. But anyway, like that's all I got, y'all. Hey, tell me what you think. Leave a comment below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the